Masterson. I grew up in Idaho and then moved to Portland, Oregon, and then found my way down here to the Fresno area. Currently, I have retired from teaching so I can spend all of my time in my studio working on sculpture projects. I worked with art since childhood. I mean, I've always done drawing and painting and worked with clay and other materials. In undergraduate school is where I began a pottery class, and I was really a painting major, but I couldn't get out of the clay studio, so I constantly was in the clay studio working with this material, which is very challenging. And after graduating, by the time I graduated, I was no longer interested in doing pottery. I love to do pottery, and I still do pottery, but I was more interested in clay as a sculpture medium. So clay has always been kind of a primary material for me. So throughout my teaching career, I continued to do exhibitions and shows, and even later in my career did guest artist residencies and published in lark books, and anything I could do to further my career as an artist. Right now I'm working on a project for a grant and an exhibition at the Pence Gallery in Davis, California. Very nice gallery, and they have some kind of a grant program that I applied to and got accepted. So it's a small grant, and then probably more significant to me, it's to do a show. So this piece is the newest piece I'm in the middle of working on, and I just finished the surface and the form very recently, just this week. Finished the surface and the form, and it will have, I have prepared a place for a steel pin that will hold something that would be a boulder or a head sitting on top of this. To me, these pieces are anthropomorphic. They sort of still have human form because I primarily worked figuratively with clay, and then began to abstract that into what are now just these kind of mountain forms with a boulder sitting on top that might have originated as a torso and a head. For me, the work is somehow still holds a kind of a human idea. I mean, like this piece to me still looks like a figure, hips and shoulder and neck. To me they're figurative, but maybe that's just me. So I don't know how much that is conveyed. I think they have some kind of a human spirit in them, even though they're becoming much more like rock and mountain forms. So if I think of the earth as alive, and I think of the clay as alive, then that's, sort of, I'm trying to bring that life into the world, in a sense, through the working of the clay and the firing. So what do you do with the pieces that aren't successful enough to remain in existence? You break them up. So I started collecting shards, my own shards, and then when I was teaching at Reedley College, I started collecting students' shards. At the end of the semester, when they didn't want the pieces, they broke them with a hammer, and they all went into a bucket, and I brought them here and I tossed them out into this rock garden, sort of shard garden I call it. And to me, it's like, it's filling that space instead of weeds or instead of rock, but also it's a reminder of loss as a way to success.